them, long as I got stuff from most of them soft. Even when I was wrong, I got my point across. They depicted me the boss. Of course, my orange box cutter make the world go round. Plus I'm fucking bitches ain't my homegirls now. Start stacking, dabbled in crack, gun packing. Nickname Medina, made the scenes, took my Ninas. From gym class to English, pass off for global. The only nigga with a mobile. Can't you see like total? Getting larger in waist and taste. Ain't no telling where this felon is heading. Just in case, keep a shell at the tip of your melon. Clear the space, your brain was a terrible thing to waste. Realizing to my enterprise and I ain't have to be in school by 10. I then began to encounter with my counterparts of how to burn the block apart. Break it down into sections. Drugs by these selections. Some use pipes, others use injections. Syringe sold separately. Frank the deputy, quick to grab my Smith & Wesson like my dick was missing. To protect my position, my corner, my layer. While we out here, say the hustler's prayer. If the game shakes me or breaks me, I hope it makes me a better man. Take a better stand, put money in my mom's hand. Get my daughter this college plan, so she don't need no man. Stay far from timid, only make moves when your heart's in it. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. Motherfucker. 88. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. Put money in my mom's hand. Get my daughter this college plan, so she don't need no man. Stay far from timid, only make moves when your heart's in it. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. A nigga never been as broke as me. I like that. When I was young, I had 2 pair of leaves. Besides that, wore on Mondays and Wednesdays. While niggas flirt, I'm throwing tigers on my shirt and alligators. You wanna see the inside? Huh? I see you later. Here come the drama. Oh, that's that nigga with the fake. Wow! Why you punch me in my face? Stay in your place. Play your position. Here come my intuition. Go in this nigga pocket. Rob him while his friends watch it. And hoes clock it. Here comes respect. His crew's your crew, or they might be next. Look at they man, big man, they never try, so we roll with them. I stole with them, I mean loyalty. Niggas bought me milks at lunch. The milks with chocolate, the cookies, butter crunch, 88. Long as I got stuff from most of them soft. Even when I was wrong, I got my point across. They depicted me the boss. Of course, my orange box cutter make the world go round. Plus I'm fucking bitches ain't my homegirls now. Start stacking, dabbled in crack, gun packing. Nickname Medina, made the scenes, took my Ninas. From gym class to English, pass off for global. The only nigga with a mobile. Can't you see like total? Getting larger in waist and taste. Ain't no telling where the spelling is heading. Just in case, keep a shell at the tip of your melon. Clear the space. Your brain was a terrible thing to waste. Get my daughter this college plan, so live the phrase, sky's the limit. Motherfucker. 88. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. Take a better stand, put money in my mom's hand. Get my daughter this college plan, so she don't need no man. Stay far from timid, only make when your heart's in it. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. A nigga never been as broke as me. I like that. When I was young, I had 2 pair of leaves. Besides that, the pinstripes and the gray. The one I wore on Mondays and Wednesdays. While niggas flirt, I'm throwing tigers on my shirt and alligators. You wanna see the inside? I see you later. Here come the drama. Oh, that's that nigga with the fake. Wow, why you punch me in my face? Stay in your place, play your position. Here come my intuition. Go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watch it, and hoes clock it. Here comes respect. His crew's your crew, or they might be man. Big man, they never try, so we roll with them. I stole with them. I mean loyalty. Niggas bought me milks at lunch. The milks with chocolate, the cookies, butter crunch. 88. Long as I got stuff for most of them solved. Even when I was wrong, I got my point across. They depicted me the boss. Of course, my orange box cutter make the world go round. Plus I'm fucking bitches ain't my homegirls now. Start stacking, dabbled in crack, gun packing. Nickname Medina, made the scenes, took my Ninas. From gym class to in-glass, pass off for global. The only nigga with a mobile. Can't you see like total? Getting larger in waist and taste. Ain't no telling where the spelling is heading. Just in case, keep a shell at the tip of your melon. Clear the space, your brain will thing the waste. Realizing to master enterprise, and I ain't have to be in school by 10. I then began to encounter with my counterparts of how to burn the block.
There we go. Okay. Wait, say something again? Why the hell can I not hear you? I was just able to hear you. Try again? What the fuck?
Uh,
Okay. Jesus.
uh,
Fucking hell, man. I cannot stand this kind of shit, bro. I literally cannot stand this kind of shit. How in the world, how am I able to hear Sir K before the podcast goes on, and as soon as I hit click to the next scene, I just can't fucking hear him? Nobody else on the face of the fucking universe has these problems. Fucking Christ, man. Fucking.
makes no fucking sense.
Anyways, what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing? Welcome to day 4 of the 4-day in a row streaming extravaganza for the Notorious Hills podcast, man. This is day 4. This is the last day of the 4-day weekend for the Notorious Hills podcast, and it's been a great run. It's been a great run, man, and it's been awesome. It's been fun. I want to thank you guys for some great reviews this weekend. I really had a ball, as I know Sir K did as well. It's been a lot of fun, and it's sad it has to come to an end, but it's been so much fun, man. So if this is your first time watching, guys, do not know how the show works. Every Monday, we are on here with Notorious Unscripted after Monday Night Raw. Every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, we are on here with the Newsman. And for the big pay-per-views for WWE and AEW, we are live directly after the show goes off the air with the official show review. If you guys did miss this Friday's edition of the news, as well as the WWE King and Queen of the Ring 2024 review, those are up on all platforms for you guys, man. That is Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. And if you want to see it first, join us right here live every single Friday at 4 p.m. Central, and every big pay-per-view for WWE and AEW with the post-show review. The Double or Nothing, as well as this Unscripted, should be up for you guys tomorrow or Wednesday. For sure, the Double or Nothing will be up for you guys tomorrow. As for Unscripted, usually it's kind of weird. It usually doesn't really let me download and render the whole video until Tuesday night. So I can guarantee that the Double or Nothing will be up tomorrow, but I'm gonna try to get Unscripted, but we'll see how the rendering process goes. But if this is also your first time watching and you guys do not know how, or if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official Notorious Hills podcast merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is in the top description of this very video, where you can find all 8 of these beautiful designs, the very best in the IWC, and more available on the merch shop for you guys, man. Again, that is bonfire.com. Link is in the top description of this very video, man. Also, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at the Notorious Hills podcast, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. How the hell are you, bro?
I'm going good, man. I'm going good. Coming off of a great weekend, man. Very fun, very great weekend, man. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all great. And we had all great shows every one of those days, man. So I'm happy. I've been doing good, man. I've been doing good. Like Durante always ask, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing in the replay, man? And what about you, bro? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, bro. I'm doing all right, man. Yeah, just coming off a good weekend. It sucks that it had to end, but nonetheless, it was a very good weekend. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed how mostly for the most part, all the shows went. I thought everything went great. I had a great time hanging out with you guys, man. And yeah, thank you guys for anybody that showed up and anybody that just pulled up to talk some wrestling with us, man. It was greatly appreciated. And yeah, thank you guys very much for a great weekend, man. And like I said, we will be live with the post-show reviews again for Clash at the Castles, the next one, man. So yeah, but yeah, man, not really much to talk about. with AEW Dynamite, we're going to talk about a little bit per request of Belle. I know she wanted to hear about she wanted to hear us talk a little bit about some of the things that happen on AEW Dynamite. And there is a little bit to talk about, but and we can, I guess, I'm sure we'll get down the AEW rabbit hole as soon as we start talking about the product. So that's always a given. But other than that, there's not really much SmackDown to talk about either, being that there was a pay-per-view on Saturday. And then obviously we're going to talk to you guys about a little bit of Monday Night Raw, man. So, man, AEW, if you guys did watch yesterday's review, AEW, man, turned out a just fantastic AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view. It was a very, very, very good show, I thought, man. But as you guys heard yesterday, man, I really think they need to get away from the triple main event system. And what I mean by that is it's okay to advertise a triple main event, as just 3 big matches on the show. But when you save them for the last 3 things on the show, it can definitely mean that the beginning of your show turns out like utter shit. Or sorry, the middle of your show turns out like utter shit, because that is exactly what happened on yesterday for Double or Nothing, man. The beginning of the show, first 2 things you saw, amazing. It was great. Will Ospreay and Roderick Strong, I thought, turned out amazing. And then obviously the return of MJF. You cannot ever go wrong with that. But then, man, after that, there was just a lot of shit on the show that people did not care about. And I think that's a major problem with Tony's system. And I think it's a major problem with just the way he runs pay-per-views, which is wild that, that man is called Mr. Pay-Per-View. Nor can he get a pay-per-view build right, or nor can he get his placement on a pay-per-view right. Don't get me wrong. He turns out some fantastic pay-per-views. If he does one thing right nowadays, he turns out a great pay-per-view. But man, he's really got to get better at the match placement, because that is one of the most important things about a pay-per-view.
Oh, 100%, man. 100%. The whole point of, pacing your pay-per-view is you start off with something big, energetic, then you go into something simpler, and then something energetic, then simple. It's an easy system to get right, man, and he just does not get it right, man. The triple main event system is horrible, but he does turn out great pay-per-views, man. They would just be top tier if he knew how to not only build them, but organize them. But, Double or Nothing was a really good show, man. Don't know if I can say the same for AEW Dynamite that week, but, Double or Nothing was a good show, man. It really was.
Definitely, man. Real quick, before I forget, I forgot to do this as part of the intro, but as Durante always asks, I'm good. Family's good. What about you, Durante, Logan, Bell, everybody, JT, JB? How the hell are you guys doing? My apologies. I forgot. We're talking about the shows, and then they just got me on this episode, or AEW's, I guess, lack of sense when it comes to pay-per-view placement. But no, I thought I did think it was a good show, man. And I don't want it to sound like I'm burying the show, because I thought the show was really good. That was one of the first AEW pay-per-views in a while that like we said yesterday, man, that was one of the first AEW shows in a while that I actually stood up out of just pure excitement during an AEW pay-per-view, and obviously that was for the return of MJF. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of the same for Revolution, man. I mean, it's not that it's a bad show. They turn out a good show. It's just there are certain flaws. There's certain flaws in the show that just kind of hinder the viewing experience when you are watching from home. And, to me, a major problem with their triple main event system, because they did the same thing with Dynasty. except Dynasty, from if my memory serves me correctly, didn't really have as fire of an open as Double or Nothing did. So it was literally just a mid-ass pay-per-view until you got to the last 3 matches. And, you know, that was Bucks and FTR, Swerve and Joe, and then I can't remember what the other one was, but it was Danielson and Osprey. So you know, it's really something that they got to work on. And yeah, I mean, seriously, they really got to work on that, because it makes for a better show. And obviously, I don't even have to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. But yeah, I feel like, you know, I'm beating the dead horse at this point, bro. But the matches on the show, they got to do something about that, man. I mean, you know, WWE does, you know, what, 11, 12, 10 pay-per-views a year. Hey, if the World Heavyweight Championship isn't defended on one of those shows, oh well. If the WWE Championship isn't defended on one of those shows, oh well. Do you want to know why it's like that? Because they keep it short, they keep it sweet, and if there's somebody that isn't on the card right now, they might get to be on the next one. So, you know, I just like the Triple H takeover system. I do. It works, and clearly it's working for these main roster pay-per-views because they're short, they're sweet, and people enjoy them. People enjoy them overall, so it works.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. It's a good system. It's such a better flowing system. And you have always touted quality over quantity, man. And I think Tony Khan, especially with the 9 fucking pay-per-views he does a year, should really learn that.
Yeah, yeah, he absolutely should. He absolutely should, man. But as for this episode of AEW Dynamite, this was just a odd episode of
Mm-hmm.
AEW Dynamite. First of all, I mean, this is typical Dynamite tomfoolery nowadays, but just the amount of um, the amount of drag that comes with the show. I mean, I sometimes I genuinely feel as if I'm watching this show for 4 hours, because it just drags. Because there's a lot of filler, and there's a lot of stuff that I don't want to see. That's another problem with their pay-per-views is, again, like I said, with the amount of matches they put on the show. If all the matches were top tier, that would be one thing, man. But it just so happens a lot of your matches are filler as hell, and Dynamite is the land of filler nowadays, which is quite scary because they have 2 other shows that exist for filler. That is literally their sole existence is filler, and Dynamite feels like filler. So all 3 of your shows feel like filler for the most part, and yikes, that's something.
Exactly, man. It makes me ask, what are you filling in for, man? Because the whole point of filler is to get from A to B as quick as possible. You want to do this, and you want to get to this, so you do filler in the middle to make it go as quick as possible. It's lazy, but sometimes it's okay. But when that's all your show is, what are you going from A to B for? Oh wait, pay-per-views. That's what he's going from A to B for, because that's all Tony Khan cares about. He does not care about weekly television, and damn near every episode of Dynamite, for a while now, is an example of that.
Definitely, man. Definitely. A lot of people just feel that he just blatantly gives up. You know, when he's booking these Dynamite shows, man. I mean, one of the recent examples of this is one of the things that happened on AEW Dynamite. And I know Sir K is going to love this. This is usually one of his favorite stories in professional wrestling. He has that pissy look on his face, but he's going to get excited in a minute. Bryan Danielson and Satnam Singh. Why did this happen, you may ask? Well, we ended up finding out from Sanjay Dutt that the Elite is giving them a big payday to take out Danielson. And yeah.
Like, bro.
What'd you think about this, okay? Are you happy with the payday that Sanjay and them didn't receive because he didn't beat Danielson? Well,
Oh,
yeah, I mean, technically he didn't. He won via DQ.
yeah, I remember at the end of the fucking at the start of the beatdown after the match, they gave him the envelope of money. Um, so they
Oh, they
did
did
get
get the
paid.
payday. Oh, yeah, that's right.
They
That's
did
right.
get,
They did.
which from judging from what I had to watch on television, I had to sit through. Um, they should be dead broke after that because, bro, I don't. Again, I ranted about it last night. I don't give a fuck what money you're making, dude. You're on TV, especially when you're doing something for the elite, the EVPs of the company. Why would a logical wrestler not ask for, I don't know, a title shot for something? Like, what? You're helping out a formal management in a wrestling company for a storyline. Why in the blue hell would you not ask for some type of title match?
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know, man. I ranted about it last night. If you guys really want to hear me rant about the money, hungry gimmick or whatever, you like making money gimmick, um, watch last night's review, man. But fuck, do I hate that shit.
Yeah, it's one of the, it's such a lazy concept in AEW. It's just, it's something that, they do all the time. And as soon as I seen, Sanjay, flaunting around, waving his hands, symbolizing the money, I honestly figured Sir Kay was having a ball at this point in the show. Just, knowing that this group was going to be out there, grinding for that dough. But yeah, man, I mean, it really is a lazy concept in AEW. And honestly, man, Tony, I I do not know what that man is thinking sometimes. I genuinely don't know what he's thinking sometimes. I mean, who in their right mind asks for something like this? And speaking of Tony Khan, I actually, I wanted to touch on something that he said on the media scrum yesterday. But before we move on from this, man, I thought this was just I thought this was utterly shit, and this just was something again that nobody asked for. It's something that nobody asked for. It's something that nobody wanted to see, and it came off about just as bad on television, man. It really did.
It really fucking did, man.
Um, and then there was this stuff with Malachi Black drowning in blood, or what looked like
Blood.
what looked like a bunch of fucking ketchup falling from the rafters. Um, man, yeah, I this is another thing that was just kind of weird on AEW Dynamite, and it just seemed like just corny shit that they had going on. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, we talked about it yesterday, bro. But yeah, I'm not much of a fan of Brood Edge. I think that it just
No. Like, dude, like you were in a vampire faction for like a couple months when you first started. It's all you were, bro. The man acts like he was riding with the fucking with somebody. Like, bro, you're not badass, bro. You're not badass. I'm sorry, you are badass. Not when you try to act badass. You are not badass. No.
yeah, and I know Edge, feels well. I know Adam Copeland feels like Edge was, the character, and that was, just he wanted to be Adam Copeland to be himself, or whatever. But you have such an easy out in a form of badass Edge with the master manipulator, the
Yeah.
ultimate opportunist, the rated R superstar, but he always seems to go back to this Brood Edge shit, and it's never really stuck with me, man. Maybe because I didn't grow up watching it. I don't know if some 40-year-old slob is, watching Brood Edge and marking out, man, but I would much rather like to see, a version of Edge where, like I said, he's the ultimate opportunist. He's a master manipulator, and he can manipulate his way out of situations, man, with just mind games and just how devious the man used to be. But maybe that's just me, man. But yeah, I'm not have been much of a fan of it anytime we've seen Brood Edge. And as we discussed yesterday, I overall think that Malachi needed that win the 10 times more than Adam Copeland did.
He really did, man. He really did. I don't know what that's gonna do for anybody, and I really don't know how a Brood Adam Copeland group is gonna go, man, because we all remember the Judgment Day, and that didn't go too well.
Definitely, man. So, Tony Khan.
Okay.
Yesterday, man. Yesterday, he was on this godforsaken media scrum. And this man genuinely looked his people in the face. And, his journalists, or, the people that they selectively invite, based on whether they like them or not, to the show. And he told everybody sitting there he is interested in adding more championships to AEW. As we talked about it yesterday, we touched on it a little bit via Logan's comment a little bit, but he discussed mixed tag championships and women's tag team championships.
And, bro, I'm sorry.
Oh.
There's never a point to women's tag team titles.
No.
The WWE ones are still fucking pointless.
Sometimes I wish Tony Khan would look over at WWE and say, that's working.
What?
Maybe I could do that and put my own spin on it.
Yeah.
That's not working. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But instead, he sees what WWE is doing right and what WWE is doing wrong, and he does the opposite. Bro, again, like we just talked about with the pay-per-view model, the WWE does 5 matches, right? I don't think Tony Khan's a 5-match kind of guy, but if he could put his own spin on it and give us like 7, that would be great.
That'd be really nice.
If Tony Khan would look over at WWE and say, those women's tag team championships come off like shit. Maybe we won't introduce women's tag team championships. And what does he do? He goes out and he says he's interested in women's tag team championships. Oh, God.
First of all, let's count the titles that this company has under the AEW banner.
Okay.
Counting the R1s, including ROH, is a whole other fucking beast in itself, but I'll exclude ROH for this dealing. The AEW title, the Women's World title, the TBS title, the TNT title, the International title, the Tag titles, the Trios titles. Is there any more? I mean,
The For the World title.
I was gonna say basically damn near the FTW title at this point. And I think that's it. And that it being fucking 7. Oh wait. 8. 8 goddamn titles. Right.
Yeah, you're right.
8 goddamn titles. What do you need 10 for?
Which is insane because all the other people that have held the FTW title have gotten no recognition with the belt. They even made it a point to go out and say that the title's not officially recognized by AEW. Meanwhile, there's people that come out with it. There's people that are announced as the FTW champion, and there are people that defend that title, whether they defend it a lot or not. There are people that defend it, and none of that changes until, go figure, Chris Jericho is holding the title. Now they want to put the FTW title on damn near every pay-per-view. They want to put it on this guy. They want to put it on that guy. What a joke, honestly. What a joke, dude. It really is. But going back to that, you got about 8 AEW championships that are actual AEW championships. And then if you want to go out on a limb and include all the other belts that they include on the show, you got the New Japan. You had you forgot did you forget the Continental title?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. Okay. So you got the IWGP Championship. You have the ROH, the ROH TV title, the ROH Women's TV title, the ROH Tag titles that are on the show, and the ROH Trios titles that are unified with Bullet Club Gold, even though the belts aren't fucking unified, because they still carry around both sets of titles, and then for whatever reason they carry around the Acclaimed titles too. I have no idea why. Can anybody fill that gap in for me, please?
I can't. I think it looks stupid. But dude, that count alone is 15. 15 titles we see regularly on AEW television, when there shouldn't be more than 5 at all times for a wrestling company. Maybe 6 if you want to even out like 2 different drafted shows, maybe. But like a world, arguably maybe 2 world. Now when I say arguably maybe 2, I only say that if you have split rosters between 2 shows.
Yeah.
If you don't, you have 1. But, the option's there. Arguably 1 world title, maybe 2, obviously, depending. Same with the mid-card title. 1, maybe 2, if you have 2 separate shows. To be honest with their roster, I would only do one women's title, whether it's like 2 shows or not.
Same.
And, I would love the idea of having your tag team and your trios division. I would really like that idea. Hell, you know how long it took them to get trios titles in the first place? And then they fucked it up. They made both divisions completely pointless when, at the time, the tag titles meant something. It was just always held by trios, so everyone wanted trios titles, so the tag titles could be held by tag teams, and trios can hold trios titles. None of that really happens. But it should. I would like that system. I think that could be a good system, but it hasn't been executed by Tony Khan as a good system. Why do you have a second women's title, bro? It's pointless. Why would you ever need women's tag team titles? They are completely fucking pointless. And the most pointless titles of all, mixed tag titles. Those gotta be the most pointless titles in existence.
It's gotta be. It's genuinely gotta be. That is genuinely up there with one of the worst Tony Khan ideas I've ever heard about. When CMLL has mixed tag team titles, or AAA has one of those. Actually, that probably makes a lot of sense now, because don't they not work with AAA anymore?
Oh yeah, I don't think they don't work with AAA anymore.
Well, there's the proof in the pudding then. That just hit me. The reason because I know Ty and Sammy held the mixed tag titles before, so the reason that's probably an idea in Tony Khan's head is because he probably wants to make couples happy in AEW, right? He likes having, people that are dating the on-screen acts together. So you got like Adam Cole and Britt Baker, I could see holding them. You have like probably about like a decent amount of like 5 teams that you can, mess around with the trios or the mixed tag titles with. I'm sorry, but 5 fucking teams is not a division. And it is not worth having titles for, and I'm sick and I'm fucking tired of every fucking act in AEW having to have a title. Why does everybody that walks through that curtain have a fucking title? Whether it's AEW title or whether it's another company's title, everybody that walks through the fucking curtain has a title. Why? It almost looks more important if you don't have a fucking title, because everybody has one.
Literally.
And Tony Khan has this idea of just, man, if they're not doing something, they need to be going for a title so it can look like they're doing something. Which, again, look at just many acts in WWE that are doing great things and they're not even involved in a world championship. Look at what the Bloodline is doing right now. Is there a title involved there? No. Are they the biggest, best thing probably in all of the fucking company? Look at Drew McIntyre. Look at Drew McIntyre. The guy's, while he was out injured and building to the Royal Rumble, I know that, obviously there was that little bit where he was in the world title feud with Seth Rollins, but back at the end of the year, the guy was feuding with Jey Uso and the whole, babyface crew of, babyfaces over there on Monday Night Raw, feuding with them. Going through his character arc, one of the best fucking things on television. He's one of the best things on television. Building up to the Royal Rumble, this guy was feuding with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, kind of, over who was going to win the Royal Rumble to go to WrestleMania. Guy was absolutely one of the best part of all of Monday Night Raw.
Literally, dude. Literally. He didn't have a title. He should, but he didn't. And guess what? He was still the best part of the show. It's okay to not have a title.
And then, you go on to look at, look at even just some of Gunther's recent work building up to the King of the Ring tournament and just the body of matches and the body of just promos that he put together during the King of the Ring tournament alone. It was great. It was great shit. Chad Gable, yes, he is in the IC title picture, but his story with his faction, and just the way he treats them, and the storyline of just the way he treats Otis, and I know he's feuding for the IC title, but if you just look at that from him and Otis's standpoint alone, and just the way he treats him and the storyline arc of Otis in this whole thing, dude, it's amazing shit. It's amazing shit. And then, like I said, the most out there, scenario of it all, the Bloodline. Look at the Bloodline. Ever since WrestleMania, they turned on Jimmy. They introduced Tama Tonga. They introduced Tonga Loa. Jacob Fatu's probably going to be getting involved somewhere down the line. OG Bloodline, who's the real tribal chief, the Usos getting back together, you guys know the whole rundown. The biggest shit, the most important shit in WWE doesn't involve a title. You don't need a title to prove to whoever that you're doing something.
Literally. But Tony Khan really doesn't understand that, man. He sees a title as a necessary, at all times. And it's really frustrating, man, and it makes the title a lot less valuable.
Definitely, man. So yeah, that's basically all the stuff going on for AEW this week, man. That is basically all the stuff going on for AEW, and man. Yeah, as for SmackDown, let's see. I don't think there was much to talk about that wasn't already a big talking point on King of the Ring. Yeah, nothing too much going on SmackDown, guys.
No.
Really, other than, Paul Heyman just kind of asking Solo why he keeps recruiting dangerous people into the bloodline, as, Solo just basically said, that's because we are dangerous.
Hell yeah. Well, and Paul Heyman, he better wait for the most dangerous. Boy, that shit's gonna hit that man Paul Heyman like a truck when they get Jacob Fatu.
Oh, bro. Yes.
Oh,
that
man.
man. Oh, bro. Oh, I can't wait for that, dude. So,
Fucking great.
Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, man. Your May 27th edition of Monday Night Raw. The show opens up with the King General. Huh?
I dig it. I like the wordplay.
The King of the Ring General.
I like it.
Well, the show opened up with Gunther Stark. My man Gunther.
That man Vince was really gonna give him a last name. Not only was he gonna give him a last name, it was gonna be a Nazi's last name. That shit, that man Vince was something else, dude.
Oh, dude. He was getting in his bag his last couple years. I don't know what the fuck.
I'll never forget when I clicked that ringside notification and read that shit, bro. I was like, oh my god. I'm so glad. Did he ever make it to TV with that last name? I don't
No.
think he did.
He did.
I was gonna say I don't think he did, but boy oh boy, did he dodge one.
Because I remember everybody was like, oh, they trademarked Gunther Stark. So, everybody was like, oh, who's this for? And then I remember when Gunther debuted, he just named himself as Gunther, and then everybody was like, oh, I thought they trademarked Gunther Stark though. But man, going back to that moment, I'll never forget how mad I was during that promo when he just said the winner of this match is Gunther. Man.
Oh man,
that was heartbreaking.
Say it all the time, man. Gunther's great. He's top tier, GOAT, legend, for real, man.
He is.
But Walter
Animal.
was a beast, bro. He true ass animal ass beast, bro. Man, I miss the weight, I miss the name, I miss the song.
The song, bro. Dude, at the very least, when they get rid of Def Rebel, they gotta give him Symphony Number 9 back.
They just have to, man. Please, I need it.
Man. God.
As Nick Jackson, or I think it was Matt that said it, as Matt Jackson would say, learn the lyrics, man. Sing the lyrics.
Sing it. Dude. Fucking love the Bucks, bro.
Those two are goated.
Sing it. And it's just, oh, dude. Fucking greatest tag team of all time. Man, I love those guys. But speaking of the Young Bucks, dude, every time, Gunther comes out and, I hear him not coming out to Symphony Number 9, I'm like Nick Jackson at the end of Dynamite last week. No! How could you do this to me, you perv? Oh, dude.
You perv.
That, I forgot to mention that about Dynamite too. That was one of the greatest endings to Dynamite ever. Nick Jackson just staring down the lens, screaming, "No!" Bro. Oh, man. Killed me.
Oh,
Fucking
love
love
it,
Nick,
dude.
bro.
I swear to God.
That man is hilarious. So, the show opens up with Gunther as he gets introduced by Ludwig Kaiser as he brags about beating Randy Orton in the King of the Ring, finals, which led to a "We Want Randy" chant, and he bragged about beating Randy Orton in the finals, man, winning King of the Ring, moving on to SummerSlam. He commends Damian Priest for stepping up in the Judgment Day since Rhea Ripley got hurt. He says, the reason I respect that so much is because I did the same thing with the Intercontinental Championship. He says the title lacked prestige like the world title does now. And the reason the world title lacks prestige, Gunther says, is because the champ took a shortcut to get the championship. Very interesting, right? So Damian Priest comes out here and he questions, he says to Gunther, he says the prestige, shortcuts. He says, look, Gunther, congratulations for winning the King of the Ring tournament and all. But let's be honest, don't act like you earned anything, because we all saw it. We all saw it. You did not beat Randy Orton. His shoulder was up. He says, so in all honesty, you proved nothing. He says, unlike Gunther, he cashed in because he actually earned his briefcase. Damian Priest can actually thank Vince McMahon for this briefcase, because that motherfucker was going to LA Knight tenfold.
Oh man, it should have, bro. It really fucking should have. But yeah, it ain't you, Priest, bro. Trust me.
Yeah, seriously. He tells Gunther. He tells Gunther how the Money in the Bank system works. You know, he basically tells him, look, I won this briefcase, I earned it, and just like everybody else before me, I cashed in. That's kind of how the Money in the Bank briefcase works. He tells he tells Gunther, he says, you must not know how business works around here, but if you want, I can teach you a lesson. I will say, we'll get into it later in the show. You guys know, I'm very, you know, I'm very, you know, I can be very, what's the word I'm looking for? I can be very secretive about my displeasure for Damian Priest, right? Everybody knows that. Everybody knows I don't really talk about it much. Okay, I don't talk about how much I don't like the guy much, but everybody knows he ain't my favorite, right? Again, I just want to reiterate for the people in the back. I'm very secretive about it. I really don't let a lot of people know about my displeasure for Damian Priest, but, you know, it's not really my favorite. But I will say, tonight on Monday Night Raw was some of the best he's looked. And again, this is coming from somebody who is, you know, a very closeted Damian Priest hater. Okay? Very closeted.
You know, you might be a worse liar than me. But,
Liar.
you know, I get what you mean. It's good. Oh, 100%. You hate that, man. We all know it.
No.
It's not closeted at all, man. You might as well comment it, man, because that shit ain't secret at all.
No.
But, oh yeah. I mean, I get what you mean, though, in a way. You know, no one really knows my dislike for Orange Cassidy or his group, you know what I mean?
Really?
So, yeah, no, I never really talk about it, but, no, dude, you'd have never guessed, right?
I mean, since we're all sharing here, it's like an AA meeting, I guess, since we're here.
We need some of those. But,
So does Jeff.
man. But that's good to see, man. Not Jeff. Not that. Well, maybe he does need one of those, but I don't know. But in terms of Damian Priest, that's good to see, man.
You've seen what I've seen in that white Charger. Boy, he needs one of those. Man was walking the line in the parking lot and shit. Anyways.
But anyways, it's good to see with Damian Priest, man. Because I always say it when we shit on the guy, he has potential. You know,
You're walking a fine line there.
not in any main roster character he's ever had. Not the bipolar fucking dork that he was under Vince McMahon, or this weird,
dude,
kind of also bipolar fucking asshole. I guess his main roster run for through and through is basically just bipolar. He's just him being bipolar, but he has potential, dude. In NXT, I really liked the guy. He had the song, he had the entrance, he had the vibe, he had the voice. He has the voice. I hate how he makes it purposely even deeper when he cuts his promos on the main roster. I think it's putting a hat on a hat. I think it sounds stupid, but he has potential to one day maybe be world champion. But this character, not it, man. Not it. I've said it a million times, but it's good to see him doing good. It is.
Definitely, and when I get to the parts that I specifically want to talk about that I actually really enjoyed from Damian Priest tonight, it still begs the question you guys know I'm going to ask, and we will get there very shortly. But Gunther responds. He says, look, he tells Damian Priest he does not care how he feels because facts are the facts, and he won King of the Ring, and if he's still champ, he is going to challenge him at SummerSlam. Yes, Gunther. We know that. He's going to challenge him at SummerSlam. And he says he would love for Damian Priest to show him about business because business isn't really his strongest suit. And he says he would love for him to show him a lesson in business because since I've been in this company, nobody has been able to teach me anything after that bell rings. That was pretty fire. Okay.
Tough as hell, man. I love it.
He says he cannot Gunther says he cannot teach Damian Priest about business, but what he can teach him about is this great sport. He says that Priest can teach him about business. He tells Damian Priest, if you want to give me your little pep talk about business, you can either do it before our match and you can refer to me as King of the Ring, or you can do it after our match and you can refer to me as the World Heavyweight Champion.
Go.
This man, Gunther, I'm telling you, WWE has developed his promo skills so much. Like, dude, not to say that he was ever bad on the mic, because he was never bad on the mic, but this man be dropping heat, bruh. He is a very underrated promo.
Very, very. When he first came into the company, like you said, he wasn't bad, but he was pretty quiet and reserved on the mic. Now that man's just dropping heaters, just left and right, bro. Just dropping one-liners like he's Kendrick, dude. And it's fucking great, man. I love to see it.
Definitely, man. As long as he's not dropping the double entendres like Kendrick, I think we'll be all right. So, but
I mean, for being honest, from what we know about Damian Priest, he does fit that double entendre.
Oh, he definitely is. Yeah, for 100%, 100%. Priest, then in typical Damian Priest fashion, he sounds very badass during this promo. He sounds like he's getting more comfortable on the mic. He sounds like he's getting more fluent. But in typical Damian Priest fashion, his last line he says to Gunther, he completely fucks it up. He holds up the title and he says, "Hey, what can I say? How can you teach me anything when I'm already the champ?"
Mm-hmm. I mean, I was gonna try to get it till I could teach you how to lose the title. I mean, it's a pretty easy one right there. What the fuck, like, dork? Ah, come on.
Good old Damian Priest. He's gotta go and
Just
gotta go and fuck it all up.
like, dude, you were doing good, bro. Just stop while you're ahead, man. And he does not know stop while you're ahead. He really doesn't.
Definitely, man. So Drew McIntyre comes out and he gets in Gunther's face, which was really cool because I think that's what we're gonna end up seeing at SummerSlam. Because Damian Priest and Gunther had a good back and forth here. They did. But just seeing those two across from the ring from each other, I'm just thinking to myself the whole time, man, I do not fucking want to see this match. Like,
No, dude, dude. Ah, no. Damian Priest. Oh, come on, dude.
yeah,
Come
it
on.
just, yeah, I don't know, man. But Drew McIntyre comes out to CM Punk chants. Drew McIntyre says, "Real quick, guys," he looks at Priest and Gunther. He says, "Real quick, guys, let me just get this out of the way real quick." He says, "Listen, CM Punk's been back 6 months, and the highlight of his run back has been me." He says, "You guys should be thanking me because if I didn't injure CM Punk, he would have screwed up and got fired and had nowhere else to go."
Damn. I mean, very well a possibility.
Fucking love Drew. Gotta love Drew. Drew then looks at Gunther and he looks at Damian Priest and he says, let me make something very clear. I don't know why you're talking to him because I'm going to be the world champion in about less than 3 weeks. Very possible.
That would be really nice. I
Um,
would love that.
and the more we do not see CM Punk, I think the next time we see that man, he pops up in Scotland to cost Drew McIntyre the championship.
I think so, dude. I think so.
Which, dude, Drew McIntyre losing at Clash at the Castle again? This time it's even worse because it's in fucking Scotland. The first time it was in Wales. Bro.
To me, that's not even what makes it worse. What makes it worse is fucking Damian Priest.
Yeah, it's
and
there.
Imagine this sight, dude. Drew McIntyre, angry, laying on the ground, and all you hear is, "Oh, right." And you just hear that theme song, man, while Drew McIntyre is just laying there. Imagine that.
That is going to be a miserable fucking post-show review. I'm telling you right now. That's how I'm going to be sitting on the fucking living room floor, the same way Drew McIntyre is fucking sitting in the middle of the ring.
It's going to be horrible, but it's going to be funny. Just a tad bit funny at the same time.
God. Fucking Triple H, man. Do the right thing, you motherfucker. So.
He bet, but he won't.
Drew says he's going to be champ in less than 3 weeks. Damian Priest says, "Look, man, don't get it twisted. I'm not looking past you. I just know what's going to happen when I just know what's going to happen when we're done." Lord, I'm telling you, man, do not have Damian Priest hold that fucking title past Clash at the Castle. I'm going to fucking do something. If Damian Priest, if Damian Priest holds that championship past Clash of the Castle, I swear to God, if that show goes off the air and Damian Priest pins Drew McIntyre in fucking Scotland. I'm pissed. And I'm telling you,
dude,
I'm going to fucking do something. Okay?
Yeah. I'm intrigued that that's something you're gonna do, man. I'm intrigued. And I want to see it.
Drew then says, he says he wants the best for the Judgment Day, but ever since Rhea Ripley got hurt, let's be honest, man, the group has went to hell. Drew, let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, bro. This group went to hell a long time ago, okay? This group went to hell probably about during their second tag team title run.
Oh, 100%, man. This group has been in hell for a long, long time now, man. This group's breakup is long overdue.
Definitely. I'm glad they're doing it now because, they did make sense out of everything with, like, Rhea getting injured and stuff and Damian Priest kind of crumbling under the pressure. But, yes, in terms of just the group's just span, they haven't done anything of intrigue in fucking God knows how long. I mean, now, it's getting intriguing with the Judgment Day. But before this, they were so stale. It's definitely time to break them up, for sure.
Oh, yeah. It really is fucking time, man. And Damian Priest is really going to be the babyface. Goddamn.
Definitely. So, he says the group has went to hell. He tells Damian Priest he needs to focus on what's important. And what I mean by that is you need to focus on yourself and you need to focus on the World Heavyweight Championship. Remember that line. It comes into play a lot later. And this is what I like about the story here with these two. He says, what do guys, he says, what do these, Wade Barrett, Fit Finlay, British Bulldog, William Regal, what do these guys all have in common? They never, or the amount of combined world championships between all of them is 0. He says he's the only one to do it. He's the only one to become WWE champion from the UK, and he's the only one to become the WWE champion from the UK, and he's done it 3 times, soon to be 4. He says the fans at Clash at the Castle broke Roman Reigns. They broke Roman Reigns' spirit. He says Roman Reigns, of all people, he's a guy who's done it all. He's been in all the high-pressure situations. They broke him. They broke his character. They broke his spirit. And if it wasn't for Solo Sikoa, he would have won that night. He says this time they're in Scotland, which is my country. And he says he's going to teach everybody a geography lesson because they don't teach it in America. The crowd starts chanting USA. Drew says, "Look, man, I'm an American citizen, but I'm just pointing it out as he is. I'm just pointing it out as it is." Which they don't really teach much of us that in school, so I don't know why.
Oh, well.
Drew is absolutely right here. He is not wrong in any regard. Actually, the school system in America, I don't even know the fucking point of it sometimes. Different topic for a different day. So he starts mapping out where things are on the map, and he says, Scotland is all the way up here, and that's where I'm from. He says they got the most passionate fans, and WWE gave me many of nicknames. The Terminator, the Psychopath, the Warrior. They gave me a bunch of nicknames. Do you know what they call me in Scotland? They call me Drew, because that's who we are. He tells Damian Priest that he is walking into a war zone. Ooh, I'm so excited for Scotland, bro. He says the fans are going to break you mentally, and I'm going to break you physically. He tells Damian Priest that he said this whole time you've been overshadowed by 2 guys that are injured. One of them just got cleared and is going to take your title.
Damn. cooked his ass.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where are you? Where are all you Damian Priest cooked Drew McIntyre heads from a couple weeks ago? Because that man slaughtered him.
Literally, with nothing but the truth, man. He is overshadowed by Drew, CM Punk. I would say Gunther in there. You could put some
Sammy and
names in
Gable,
there. Sammy and Gable.
Otis.
Hell, his own. I was gonna say Otis. His own group mates. Fucking Finn Balor. Fuck, dude. Half that roster is more world championship level right now than him. So he kind of got cooked right there. He really did.
Yes, Damian Priest laughs, and he asks if that was all he had. He says, "Is that all you got? Is that your attempt to break me? You're telling me that the crowd is gonna boo me?" He says, "I don't know if you know this or not, but I made a career off of proving people wrong." Oh no, motherfucker, trust me. You proved me
I proved
absolutely
us
right.
Literally, I am right.
He says, "I've made a career out of proving people wrong." And he asked Drew, he says, "Drew, since you want to talk about truths so much, Drew, is your wife going to be there? What's her name?" Drew says, "You better choose your words carefully before I drop you where you stand." Priest then says, he says, "No, I'm just kidding, man. I really don't care. I really don't care what your wife's name is, but I just wanted to see if I could get under your skin as easily and clearly I can. And I also wanted to see if you were man enough to do something about it." And that was that. And then Braun Strowman's music hits because he's been looking for JD McDonough, and they also had a match that was coming up next on the show. But that was the opening promo, man. We got I forgot to mention, like, as soon as, like, by, I would say, about, like, Drew's second dialogue, I don't know where Gunther went, but that man just evaporated into thin air. 1 second he was there, the next second bro's just walking away with his crown. I was like, oh, okay, I guess he was just like, yeah, I ain't gonna stand here for this shit. So yeah, I don't
I
know.
respect it. Man hit that Tony Khan. Just fucking disappeared.
Oh my god. So
Ugh.
that was the opening segment to Monday Night Raw. I loved it. I love the promo battles between these guys. I thought everybody did a pretty good job, and I thought all the promos in there came off very well. Even Damian Priest.
Exactly, man. Even though he got cooked, he was able to hold his own for a little bit, man, and that's good to see, man.
Definitely, man. Braun Strowman defeated JD McDonough, or as Pat McAfee called him, JD McDumbass. Yikes.
This man's always just catching strays, man.
He really
This poor
is.
guy. I mean, he does have that head, but fuck, man. He's great, dude. He's great.
Yes, Michael Cole he gave Braun Strowman a headbutt in here, and Michael Cole just goes, "Oh man, a headbutt from that big head." Jesus.
Come on, bro.
Leave him alone, bro.
This poor dude. Ugh. He is built like a Funko Pop, but fuck.
Yes, so Braun Strowman defeated JD McDonough here. Carlito tried to get involved. Here, and JD it did not do much of any help. Carlito did try to get involved, but Braun Strowman ended up just overpowering everybody pretty much, and he ended up just overpowering everybody pretty much, gave JD a tilt-a-whirl power slam, and yeah, that was about it. So decent little throwaway match. So yeah, it was nice.
Might as well. Nice to see.
Definitely, man. Liv Morgan is in the back. She said she needs She said tonight she needs to beat Becky Lynch one-on-one to prove that she can do it in her first ever steel cage match, because Dominic put an asterisk next to her victory on Saturday because he assisted the victory. So
Interesting.
definitely, man, definitely.
Especially with what they did later that night, or tonight. It's interesting to see where they're going.
For sure, man. Damian Priest is in the back, and he tells Finn Balor that Braun should have been handled, and he needs to go get he needs to go get JD McDonough and bring him back to the clubhouse to regroup.
Alright, codename Kids Next Door. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know why they call their little thing a clubhouse.
Like, dude, like in NXT, Prime of NXT, the UE, they had their little spot backstage with all, they had their merch and all that was draped around. They didn't give it a fucking name. The Clubhouse. What?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know
what's.
Yeah, it's so I don't know why they just don't call it like a locker room or something,
Like,
dude. The Judgment Day Clubhouse.
Alright, Mickey Mouse.
Ricochet is in the back, asking Adam Pearce for a match against Braun Breaker. Since he was in the training room getting cleared, Adam Pearce tells him that Braun is not here. Ilya walks up and he thanks Ricochet for pushing him out of the way last week, and he says, when he is all healed, you and I are going to go another round. Ricochet says, how about tonight? Ilya says he fights people. He says, I fight people and I break them, but I do not fight broken people. Ricochet then told him, Ricochet is money and I ain't never been broke. So let's make it happen tonight. He looks at Adam Pearce and he says, go ahead, make it official. And Adam Pearce says, if both of you guys want it, I can make it official.
Look at that, man. Look at that. That's the type of shit I want to see, man. Ricochet dragging off. Crazy as hell.
Definitely, man. So this match happened next, and Ricochet and Ilya continued to put on great stuff as they did before, as they did in the opening round to the King of the Ring tournament, man. And I'm just telling you right now, bro, whenever we do see Ricochet and Braun Breaker, dude, that is going to be hilarious. Or not, it's going to be hilarious seeing Ricochet get speared, but it is going to be incredible.
Oh, it really is, man. That shit's going to be insane.
Definitely, man. We actually ended up finding out the reason why Braun Breaker went to target Ricochet and Ilya, and that is because, very simple, they were in the King of the Ring and he was not.
I respect it, especially targeting Dragunov specifically. He also came in the main roster, but technically you came in first, but you really came in around at the same time, and he got the shot that you didn't. So I get it. I like that.
Definitely, man. So Ricochet and Ilya were putting on their match, and all of a sudden, Ricochet just gets speared by Braun Breaker, man, which then Dragunov would get up and try chopping Braun Breaker, and Braun would end up giving him a spear as well, and attacking both of them and sitting there and screaming on his Perk Angle energy.
Yeah, I love it. I fucking love it, man. I fucking love Braun Breaker. And this shit, dude, this shit is a triple threat. It'd be fucking nuts.
100%. Yes, it really would. It really would. So after this, because Adam Pearce was telling Ricochet, like I said, that he suspended Braun Breaker for the week because of what he did last week. And so Adam Pearce was then in the back yelling at Braun Breaker and walking away, and Kathy Kelly was trying to get a word on what was happening with Braun Breaker and what Adam Pearce was going to end up doing with him. But I really hope Adam Pearce does not end up trading this guy away because he doesn't like him.
Yeah, I hope not, man. I think it wouldn't be a good look. I don't think it'd be a good move or a good look. So I just keep, they gotta keep him on Raw, man. They have to.
For
If
sure.
you're moving anybody anywhere, move someone like fucking Gunther over to SmackDown.
Exactly. So after he gets done yelling at Braun Breaker, Kiana James walks up to Adam Pearce and asks if he needs any help with anything. And he says, you know what? Come to my office with me. And they walked away. So I don't know if she's going to be like some sort of assistant for him or what, but looks like something actually finally might be happening there.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like for a little bit she might be doing that like a Sonya Deville thing that they had going on with her in management. So I
Yeah,
feel like it's gonna be something like that.
I could see it. I could see that for sure. The Miz and R-Truth were outside of an ice cream bus, and yeah, and the Miz, R-Truth called the Miz like vanilla or something, like he was the flavor vanilla of ice cream, and the Miz said something back to him like, "Oh, am I vanilla and you're?" And then R-Truth just says strawberry. And then R-Truth says, "Wait a minute, man. What were you gonna say?" And the Miz says, "I was gonna say strawberry, man." And then the camera zooms out, and you see the New Day standing there, and they're like, "Yeah, Miz, what were you gonna say?" And he's like, "I was gonna say strawberry." And then R-Truth just says, "You know what? That's it. We're closed." Him and Miz walk away, and fucking Karrion Kross, this creep, just comes walking up outside of the ice cream truck, and he walks up to the New Day, and he asks Woods to get out of the New Day so he can actually shine. He tells Woods that he believes in him and he wants him to watch AOP's match tonight, and he asks Woods says no. Wood says, no, I'm not going to break up this friendship, as well as one of the greatest tag teams to ever step foot in WWE. And he laughs and says, no, we're not watching AOP's match tonight. And Kofi then goes to say something, and Karrion Kross says, Karrion Kross looks at Kofi and he says, "Look, man, when are you gonna finally let him shine? When you retire?" And he tells him, if you are looking to retire soon, I can help you look into some early retirement plans." Woods then stepped in. And told Karrion Kross to tell his buddies AOP that they can meet them next week so they can show them how much New Day has left in the tank.
Oh, dude, they're gonna get decimated next week. Oh, that's gonna be great.
Probably.
Yeah, they better at least.
Probably. Then after this, we do go into the AOP match where they defeat the Creed brothers. The Creed brothers were about to close in on the victory, man, but then Scarlett came in and attacked Ivy Nile, which distracted the Street Profits, the Creed brothers, which then led to the AOP's suplex powerbomb move that they used to use, which has been renamed Water Rush by Paul Ellering, which is obviously a play on, the Road Warriors theme song.
Okay, that's interesting. I like it, man. I like seeing the AOP, man. And I like the tease that they're setting up with the Creed brothers there. They need some help, man. And who's the perfect person to give them that help?
The Academy.
The Academy, man. Interesting. I like it.
100%. Rey Mysterio does a backstage promo saying that, Carlito is going to find out tonight what happens when you cross the LWO after he betrayed him and attacked Cruz del Toro after, Rey Mysterio gave him open arms to join the LWO, man. So, decent little backstage promo there from Rey Mysterio. And yeah, that was that.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Very nice. Very decent, man. And hopefully, soon, this group can finally come to a close, but I doubt it.
Definitely. Sheamus finally makes his return to WWE television. He asks Savannah, Georgia. By the way, Savannah, Georgia, not a very great crowd. Yeah, not a very great crowd, man.
Shocker.
Yeah, I know, right? He asks Savannah, Georgia, what's the crack? He talks about King of the Ring and how great the tournament was. He says it was banger after banger after banger. But, he says, but there was no Sheamus because Ludwig took him out. But he says he is back and he cannot wait to get his hands on Ludwig Kaiser. Kaiser then appears on the screen and he tells Sheamus he never stood a chance in King of the Ring anyway. He makes fun of Sheamus for being a keyboard warrior while he was out and says that Sheamus can never tell him what to do, and then Sheamus cuts him off. And Sheamus then tells him to shut his bleeding mouth and says he's done waiting and I'm just going to come and find you. So he walks backstage. He walks into the backstage area, and Ludwig blindsides him, and he attacks him, and they start brawling out onto the stage, which then leads to a little mini pull-apart brawl just by a bunch of referees and stuff. So this was a this was a pretty good segment. I liked it. I love seeing Sheamus back on television, man, and I'm happy that we're finally getting him back.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Glad we're finally getting them back, and it's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be great, and I like, they're picking up where they left off a little bit.
For sure, yeah. So finally getting a continuation of this feud and getting to see Sheamus, man. But this is one thing I love about the Triple H era, man. A lot of people, now obviously there are some people that do sit in catering like Dijak, but there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people on the show that are involved in something, and that is what I can appreciate.
Exactly, man. Exactly. They all have something that means something in some form of sorts. I like it.
Definitely. Becky is sitting in the back. She's sitting in a locker room with Lyra Valkyria, and she tells her that on Saturday, things did not go our way, but this is how we get better. So that was that. It was a short little segment. It was literally just Becky Lynch telling her that. So that was that. And then Lyra then goes into a regular one-on-one match against Kairi Sane. It was a pretty good match. Man. Kairi Sane went to go for the insane elbow. Lyra put her feet up, and as Kairi went to drop the elbow, just rammed it right into Lyra's feet, and yeah, the counter looked really, really brutal. It looked really brutal. Lyra then rolls over, or she rolls Kairi Sane into a backslide and is able to pick up the victory for herself in this match here, man, and secure the victory against Kairi Sane. So now she's beat 2 out of the 4 members of Damage Control.
Interesting. I like the way they're doing it. I really like Lyra, and I think they're doing good with this build up of her, man. And they're doing good, making the loss of King of the Ring not bad. We always say it's good to lose, man, and this is how you make it. It's okay to lose. To keep up with somebody after they lose like this.
100%. 100%, man. Damian Priest was back in the clubhouse, and he asked Finn, "Where is everybody?" JD walks up, and he says to JD, "Where have you been?" And he asks him what he was doing talking to Liv Morgan, because earlier in the night you could see him in a little in the background of one of the little shots talking to Liv Morgan. JD says, "But the thing is, Priest, you don't know what I told her. I was telling her she wasn't going to be champ for long. She said she would not. She said." Or Damian said, well, she wouldn't be champ at all if it wasn't for Dom. And he says, and by the way, where is Dominic? Dominic walks in, and Priest asks everybody to leave, and it's just him and Dominic, and he says to him, dude, what are you doing? He tells him that what he was doing was he was trying to make all of this right, and he needs to fix it. Damian asked him if he talked to Rhea, and Dominic says yes, he has talked to Mommy, and that she knows that he was just trying to help. Priest said he hopes he fixes it by the time Rhea comes back, because I certainly wouldn't want to be in your shoes by the time she does get back. So, very interesting stuff, and I like Damian Priest kind of just starting to get fed up with things not being handled properly in the Judgment Day and things going wrong.
Exactly. I like it. I like the way they're doing that. And it's really interesting the way they're setting all this up, man. It really is. I like what they're doing. I like the dynamic with Dom, and it's been good, man. It's been good.
100%, man. Damage Control. Kyrie and Dakota walk into the Damage Control locker room, and Io's sitting there. And as soon as she sees Kyrie Sane, she starts flipping out. She throws down the lampshade. She cracks the coffee table in half, and she storms out of the room, obviously getting upset that nobody in her group has been able to defeat Lyra Valkyria. So, yeah, I like it, and I'm interested to see where it goes. And if what I think is going to happen, I feel like we're going to get some sort of feud between Io and Lyra, and that is very, very interesting.
That is, man. I like the sound of that. And I think that's what they're setting up, and it's gonna be a good one, man. And I like the setup they have so far, man. It's been really good, man.
Definitely, man. So, next, Ray versus Ray defeated Carlito here. Finn was out there trying to help Carlito, and obviously the LWO, I think Joaquin was out there helping Rey Mysterio. After the match, the judge, or no, not Joaquin, sorry, it was Dragon Lee. After the match, they put Finn Balor on the announce table, and Dragon Lee went to jump onto the announce table and jump on him. Then we seen Damian Priest come out here, and Priest absolutely took care of business in quick fashion. He took care of Rey Mysterio, and he took care of Dragon Lee. So remember when I said Drew McIntyre told him he needed to focus on important things? I love how everything's going wrong in the Judgment Day, nothing's being handled, and Damian Priest is having to step in, and I hope if somebody back there has a brain, it's going to lead to him losing the title at Clash at the Castle. And he is going to be so caught up in the Judgment Day's bullshit that they haven't been able to handle. It's going to end up costing him the World Heavyweight Championship because he is having to step in and get all this stuff handled because nobody in the group is doing it.
Exactly.
But no, he looked very badass here, man. When I tell you he clean sweeped the LWO, he swept these boys, man. I mean, he absolutely obliterated them, and he just gave the most menacing look to Carlito and Finn Balor sitting on the outside as if they were just the most worthless fucking partners ever.
I like that, man. I like that setup, and I like that path.
Yep.
That's the path I hope they go with, man. I really hope that's just the best path you can do with these guys at this point, man. It really fucking is.
Yeah, so I'm saying, man, again, I know, I'm a very closeted Damian Priest hater myself, but
Oh yeah, no, you would never guess.
never guess. But I will say, man, tonight I really did enjoy what they did and the story that they told with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested
Definitely.
to see where this goes after what happened in the main event.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
So Gable is in the back with Tozawa. He says, Tozawa, you didn't make it to Saudi. And all I could think about was how you weren't there. And I lost the match because of it. He says, you must have a really, really good reason why you missed it. Tozawa went to give him a reason. And he said just like this, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. While he was gritting his teeth. I fucking love Chad Gable, dude.
Oh, dude, see what he posted this morning?
I didn't.
It's some fucking like drink brand, named Perk, PERC, and then you just get ready for today. Fucking love it, man.
Maxine and Otis walk up, and he says, hello, Goldilocks and her 3 brain cells.
God.
This dude is a demon.
He really is, man. He's going crazy.
He says, hello, Goldilocks and her 3 brain cells. And he says, and this guy, as he looks at Otis, and he says, I would be Intercontinental Champion right now if it wasn't for you. But for some reason, out of the pure kindness of my heart, I'm going to give you another chance against Bronson Reed, and you're not going to mess it up. Right? And Otis says, right. And he says, say it. So he makes Otis say, no matter what, as Otis says it very reluctantly. We then go into the match where Bronson is facing Otis. Otis gets hype during the match, and he goes to do the worm. He goes to do the worm and, do his Otis thrusts. He starts doing Otis stuff. Gable gets upset. Then Otis gets upset and goes to do it anyway. But then Gable got really upset and hopped on the apron and started yelling at him. And he ended up turning around into a kick from Bronson Reed. And he got hit with a tsunami, which ended up costing Otis the match. Oh, it gets worse, bro. Gable starts working the fuck up after this, bro. So Otis, all, annoyed and upset, goes to leave the ring. And Gable says, whoa, where do you think you're going? You better get back here right now. As a matter of fact, I need the whole academy out here, as Maxine and Tozawa come walking out. They all get in the ring. And he asks Otis what he's going to do with him. He says what he's going to do with him after costing me the IC title and blowing the chance that I gave you tonight. He tells him, he says, you know what, Otis, you lack discipline. And tonight he's going to show you. I'm going to show you in front of everybody. He then takes off his belt. He tells Otis to grab the rope. Otis doesn't want to do it, so he tells him, grab the rope again. Gable tells the Academy, this is what happens when you make the Academy look bad. And he gets in Otis's ear and he says, Otis, this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. Gable goes to whip him across the back with his belt as Maxine grabs his arm. And he says, what are you doing? Is this too much for you, Maxine? Well, how about you get out of here then? Get out of my ring. As she's leaving, Sammy comes out, very pissed. He walks past Maxine, asks her if she's okay, and she just flustered, walks away. Gable tells Sammy to stay out of it. This is none of your business. Sammy says to Gable, you must think you are really tough. You must think you're really tough, but all you are is a weak little man. He says that he tells Gable that you manipulated your way into each of these IC title matches, and you've manipulated your way into each of these IC title matches, and that he's gotten, and he tells him that it is nobody's fault but his own. Because at the end of the day, Gable is the one who is never able to get the job done. He says, and it is certainly not his fault. He takes the belt from Chad Gable's hand, Sammy, that is, and people start chanting for Sammy to whoop that trick. Otis then stands in front of Gable to protect him. And Sammy asks Otis, how much more are you going to take from this guy? He tells Otis, you need to listen to the fans. And if you can't do that, you need to listen to your heart. You know what the right thing is to do. And then Gable just smacks Sammy across the face and starts beating the absolute shit out of him. This man, Gable, is a fucking demon.
That man is a dog.
Sammy then rolls him over and starts getting some offense in, and Otis gets upset and pulls Sammy off of Gable, and then as Sammy is looking at Otis, Gable suplexes him and finishes beating him up as Otis walks away all sad. And man, Gable, like a father from the 1960s, talking about it's gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you. And bro, he's such an asshole. I love it, and I'm loving where this whole story is going with Chad Gable and Sami Zayn and Otis. They're really telling some great stuff right now, and I'm really enjoying it, man. I'm really enjoying it, and yeah, great stuff, dude, and another great segment here.
No, exactly. Really fucking great. I love what they've been doing with this fucking storyline. I think it's great, dude. I love the dynamic with Otis, with the other members of the group, and what they're, building, not directly with this, but alongside it with the Creed brothers. It's been phenomenal, dude. It's really been fucking phenomenal.
Yes, and I can't wait to see how everything turns out. Sonya Deville was in the backstage trying to help Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler get more respect in the locker room and become the women's tag team champions, which then they would go to walk away and get confronted by Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, who challenged them to a match in the future. And then Sonya Deville would then walk up again and say, see, nobody respects you and all your accolades. So that was that, and it's about fucking time we see Alba Fire and Isla Dawn on fucking television doing something.
Literally, dude. Literally. Fucking finally.
Yeah, so they're probably going to be in a situation where they lose, but I mean, these are talented people in the division that we're not using for no reason.
Makes no fucking sense, dude. It's so frustrating when they do this for people.
Yeah, and one day, if you ever wanted to experience maybe like a trio with like Alba, Isla, and Lyra,
That would be good. I
That
think
might
they
be
could
pretty
work
cool.
together.
But then we get to the main event, man. Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch in the steel cage. Everything was going a lot. Well, it was kind of going in Liv's favor towards the end. So Dominic came out to open the door for Becky Lynch. Dominic tries to open the door, and Judgment Day comes out. JD and Finn, they come out and ask Dominic what he's doing. But then Braun Strowman comes out because he's been looking for JD McDonough all night because he hit him with a chair earlier and then ran away. Braun comes out and he starts running around the ring as he's chasing JD McDonough. And Dominic's still standing there with the door open. And as Becky Lynch gets to the door, Braun runs into Dominic. Dominic flies into the door, and the door smashes into Becky Lynch and knocks her out, which led to Liv Morgan being able to crawl out of the door and cost Becky Lynch the match. As you know, everybody's trying to say this is Becky Lynch's last match in WWE. Guys,
Oh, look at her face. She's done. Like, what?
she's probably going to take a vacation that she's been
Oh,
wanting
yeah.
to take. She's probably going to come back around the same time Rollins does, I'm assuming. But, dude, Rollins just re-signed with the company. I highly doubt Becky Lynch is going anywhere.
You know these AEW fans are going to scratch and claw at any opportunity for someone to jump ship over there. But she's not. She's not at all. She's staying. And I can't wait for AEW fans to realize that when she comes back after this. But very interesting nonetheless.
Definitely. And as for this story, man, yeah, I mean, I cannot wait to see when Rhea comes back to see how all this plays out, and especially to see how she takes to like all of Dominic's doings. I wonder if any of this is going to be addressed with like Dominic in the background to these shots, walking out of the same locker room with Liv Morgan, getting out of the same car as Liv Morgan. It seems like everybody's in the know but Damian Priest.
It really does. It really does feel like that, man. It's very interesting to see how this is going to go when she comes back.
Definitely, again, and what the question that I meant to ask with Damian Priest is, you know, he is just taking care of business for the Judgment Day. They're telling the story of that he's the only one that's able to get anything done. How are we going to make this guy the babyface? He is so much better, and he's bad now, if you ask me. That's my personal opinion, but he's kind of mid now. As a babyface, it's going to get even worse.
Fuck me, that's gonna be even 10 times fucking worse, man. I really don't know what they're thinking with that mentality.
Definitely, man. But, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I mean, again, maybe they're going to try to draw some sympathy from him trying to take care of business, and everybody else just kind of gave up on the group because they wanted to hang out with Liv Morgan. But you know, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out. But yeah, man. Becky loses the match as Liv Morgan wins again, basically by the doings of Dominic Mysterio, man. As he says he's just trying to help, but all these situations would have been way better if he would have just stayed out of it, because Becky's always beat Liv Morgan. Liv's never been able to beat Becky, so they probably would have had better success rate if Liv would have if Becky
Well, they're wrestled.
exactly just went out there and, you know, wrestled, because she's always beat Liv. But again, I think it just begs to show that Dominic is out there with ulterior motives, and he's out there to make it look like he's helping Becky, but really he's helping Liv.
I think so, dude. I think so, and I think that's what the reveal is gonna end up being.
Definitely, man. So Triple H is really making a fire story for when Buddy Matthews comes back to WWE, man. His girl's getting dogged around by her little boy toy, Dominic Mysterio. He's out here cheating and shit. and fucking in comes the husband to
Oh
fucking
man, I can't.
lay down the law to the side hoe.
He's about to be crazy as fuck, man. And then, Buddy can bring up how his side hoe was the man's sister. Was
Right.
it's a crazy circle they got going on over there, man. Life is truly a circle for them, I guess.
It really is. It really is.
God,
Bro, Liv Morgan, yeah, this is a major problem I have with tonight's show. Liv Morgan wins the match, gets out of the cage, picks the title up, and the feed cuts. The Raw is over. We end up finding out via social media and via WWE's YouTube page, she sees Dominic on the ramp, walks up to him, and fucking kisses him. And that didn't make it to television.
how? Like, bro, you have 3 hours. How did you not fucking align it to happen within those 3 hours? What the fuck?
Dude, so stupid. So stupid, man. That is incredibly annoying because this is like a huge part. Like, dude, I cannot wait to see how everybody reacts to this. But I honestly think at least JD and Finn, I think they're in cahoots with this. They've been plotting against Priest for a while. I think they're just seeing Liv as like the savior, the meal ticket to get them away from this motherfucker because he's been such a prick.
I think that's what's going on here with this whole Judgment Day thing. I think Dom, and then Finn and JD. I think Finn and JD want to go off together to do their own thing, and I think Dom wants to go off to do his own thing. And I think they're all using this situation as their escape plan, their prison break sequence, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because now they're starting to draw a little sympathy towards Damian Priest from him just being the only one that cares enough to take any plan of action in the Judgment Day. But let's not forget, for the past year, this guy's just been a fucking asshole to them and has gave them every reason to want to turn on them, or to want to turn on him eventually, because he's been a dick.
He's been an asshole the whole fucking time. They literally have every reason in the world, man, and they're gonna cash every one of those reasons in.
Like, bro, you're not Roman Reigns, okay? You're not going to be the manipulative asshole that ends up being loved because everybody knows you're sorry. No. It worked with Roman Reigns. It's not going to work here, man. You're drawing the sympathy for him now, like I said, being the only one to be able to take care and care enough to take care of Judgment Day business. But let's not forget, man, for the past year, this dude has given these guys every reason to hate this man. And sure, Roman Reigns did the same thing, but now things with the bloodline are getting way out of Roman's vision for the family, because all Roman ever wanted to do was make right for the family and make sure the family was good. But let's not forget, man, half the time Damian Priest has only cared about himself.
Exactly. So I think they all realize that, and I think it's all a big plan that man has no clue is going on.
Definitely. And I think that what Drew ended up telling him is going to come true.
I think so.
Definitely, man. So, yeah, that is going to do it for this edition of the Notorious Hills Podcast. Another great edition of Notorious Unscripted. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your week of wrestling. And with that, that is going to do it for this edition of the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for joining us in this pretty slower week. Really only had Raw to talk about. But, yeah, man, thank you guys so very much. It has been always a pleasure for my Johnny Mayhem.
And Sir K.
And that is going to do it for this edition of Notorious Unscripted. Once again, thank you guys for a truly tremendous 4-day weekend. It's been a blast. I loved it. I'm glad. I hope you guys did too. And with that, man, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys on Friday with the news.
Peace.
Used to get pills on the bitch. Now I throw shields on the dick to stop me from that HIV shit. And niggas know they soft like a Twinkie fillin', playing the villain, prepare for this rap killing. Biggie Smalls is the illest. Your style is played out like Arnold, and that's what you talking about, Willis. The thrill is gone, the black Frank White is here to excite. Throw dick to dice. Bitches are like I'm brainless, guns are like I'm stainless steel. I want the fucking